What is up, guys? Zan from the Zan Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys a very sneaky adjustment that you guys can use within any zone coverage in the game to neutralize corner routes and crossing routes. Now, this is going to be a great tip because what this will allow you to do is defend bunch metas, trips metas. It kind of is up to you how you want to utilize this, but it's going to allow you to play a true zone. So for those of you that didn't necessarily vibe with the match series that I've done this week, this is still a great adjustment that's going to allow you to play zone the way you want, but have an individual player on the field that is going to be able to play match and take away a specific receiver so you don't have to worry about them. In other words, we're creating kind of a zone coverage with a man lock hybrid in the middle of it, and you're going to be able to choose this out of any defense that isn't matched. So how about we start off with our coach settings? You're going to want to go to zone coverage and make sure that this is set to match. Goes without saying, we're using a special match check that is in this game. It's going to make it so that way you guys can defend a inside receiver, and you guys want to be able to choose this out of any play so you can use this on the fly. This setting needs to be on. So let's go ahead and break it down. Let's say maybe we are facing one of those pesky tight end corner routes that is always open against zone coverage. In fact, let's go ahead and show you a tip within a tip, which is wide corner pivot. I'm going to choose a cover 3 base defense, and I'm going to have my bunch to the wide side of the field. And as we know, if you were to run a streak corner combo to the wide side of the field, zone should handle it. However, these S corner routes to the tight end at a bunch, which are a pretty sneaky adjustment, to be honest with you, can still get open to the wide side. So I'm going to go ahead and snap the ball here. You're going to see that the streak's going to run off the shell, and then you're going to get this S corner that can break into the sideline over here where we could get a toe tap. If I keep my feet in bounds, obviously that's a dot. So how do we defend this? Obviously, if we were on the short side of the field, we have to worry about streak corner compression. Usually not something we have to worry about on the wide side of the field. We are going to take either safety. Does not matter which safety, but the logic would be the one that is going to be near the guy you want to guard. And we are going to change his assignment to an inside quarter. Now, I know this looks super congested to have an inside quarter in between an outside third and a middle third, but trust me, he's not going to play this role. Then from there, I would just go ahead, if you guys are running, you know, like a cover 3, replace your flat. So I would go ahead and put Ray Lewis into a hard flat here. And what this is going to do is this is going to have the safety man up the number 3 receiver. Now, if you guys don't know how to number an offense, I'll give you a quick crash course. You're just going to number outside to inside. So on the bunch, you've got Calvin Johnson. He's number 1. DK Metcalf is the point of the bunch. He's number 2. Kyle Pitts is the number 3 receiver. If we were to number the left side of the field, you've got Mike Evans is number 1, and in the backfield would be Walter Payton, who's your number 2. But as it pertains to the offensive formation, the number 3 receiver is the guy who is going to be manned up by the inside quarter trick. So in the event that we are going to run this S corner, we will have somebody that can take that route to the sideline. So check this out. We go ahead and snap the ball, and look how this S corner is now manned up by the quarter check. This individual coverage adjustment is universal. So what I want to do here is take you guys into a different offensive formation that is very meta and show that this rule set is tried and true. So let's go ahead and go into the Trey wide flex. Obviously, with a trips or a Trey style offense, you have the opportunity for a inside receiver to maybe run a corner route, like you see here in the play split in corner, but you also have the opportunity for a run off streak with that player being on a crosser. So you're going to want to be in a position to neutralize that number 3 receiver in the trips formation. So this is where this gets really cool. We're in a trip set here, right? Let's go ahead and number the receivers. 81 is number 1, 14 is number 2, 13 is number 3. And we know with the quarter adjustment, we will have a safety man up number 3. This is a really, really cool part of this particular tip because we can be prepared for the crosser from Evans, because as we know, if we were to run a streak crosser combo and snap the ball, you will see that the A receiver will run off the shell, and this will leave a wide open crossing route. So naturally, if we expect that player to be running that route, wouldn't it make sense to take the backside safety, Derwin James, and put him in an inside quarter? This applies to across the field as well. It's not just the same side deal. So when we run that same route combo, let's run it once again here, maybe like a little levels with a crosser, and we snap this ball, you're gonna have Kyle Pitts run off the shell, but you're gonna see that you've got a guy manned up. Now, of course, we got other options that we could throw to on this play. You're going to want to make adjustments and user the field as well. But you see that we can handle that crossing route coming from the other side of the field. So this adjustment, if you expect somebody to run a number 3 receiver across the field, is really good because he can cut this route from underneath. In fact, you actually see teams that will utilize kind of some deceptive coverage checks in real life against trips formations, where if they expect that over route to the number 3 receiver, they will oftentimes poach it with a low safety who's going to hang out and kind of wait for that quarterback's eyes to scan to the other side of the field, and he's going to jump from underneath of it. This is basically mimicking that type of coverage where you're going to rob it from the weak side. And you see that it's basically kind of created a cross man, and this allows us to put a guy into man coverage on the route that they're intending to throw, because again, they're pulling the deep zones with the stretch route here down the middle, and now we have somebody that can handle the crossing route. But as I mentioned, there is just as likely a chance that our opponent may run a street corner combo to the short side of the field. We obviously know that this is a tried and true route. People throw corner routes all the time. They don't necessarily ping their guy in the back of the head and then catch it, but it's obviously a wide open route. So this is where this gets really interesting, because if I wanted to on this, we could go ahead and play this safety in the inside quarter as well. Now, Sean Taylor's got terrible man coverage, but we should be just fine. Again, paying attention to the zone that you got rid of is also very important. So because he was the middle third safety, we would likely want to rotate this safety into center field, because this guy's not going to play a zone, he's matching. And then of course you could go ahead and replace the hole in the zone in the flat if you guys want as well. But now in this situation, if they run street corner flat, you're going to see that Sean Taylor is going to be able to play man-to-man on that. Obviously, again, Sean Taylor has like -12 man coverage. You guys will want to put a safety there that can play that a little tighter. And if you do, you'll get better, tighter coverage than what you saw right there. But I think what we're hammering home here with this is that we can bracket the number 3 receiver in a trip set. And if he's running a route to the sideline, great. If he's running a route across the field, great. We don't have to worry about it. This is important because so many defenses out there rely on guessing. They're going to Mabel one side, meaning they're going to play a low flat, a medium flat, and a deep zone on one sideline. I don't want to run over to that side. I'll put different levels of zone drops. And then if it flows the other direction, all of a sudden you're in an emergency situation where you have to handle it. Well, with this particular coverage check, as you might imagine, we could go ahead and put kind of 2 guys on him. Now, again, I don't want to say that this is a base defense, but if you're ever in a situation where you're playing the either or game, let's say for instance, the end of a game where maybe your opponent is trying to milk the game out, you need the ball back desperately, they're trying to make you guess between a corner or a post or a crosser, and you just want to say, you know what, F it, I don't want to deal with that, I want to take away your check downs, but if I do, they're going to throw the ball for an open game. This is the coverage for you. So with your play call selection, it's very important that I remind you that we have match coverage on, but there are a couple of different types of plays that you cannot call and make this adjustment out of. Notice that we've done this purely out of drop zone, cover 3 sky. You could do this out of any drop zone in the game that isn't cover 4 drop. So because this play has stock quarters on it, the match rules don't actually apply to that particular play. It also doesn't apply to any play that actually does have built-in match rules like regular quarters or palms or cover 6 or cover 9. And I would probably also try to avoid any cover 3 play that has matching pink zones like we talked about in our cover 3 match video. So when it comes to choosing a play that you guys want to do this out of, you probably are going to want to choose a formation or a play that is more drop zone. So your cover 3 sky, your cover 3 cloud, your Tampa 2, and you can get really adjusty with this. So let's go ahead and kind of show you this. I'm going to go ahead and call this out of Tampa 2 just to show you that there is a little bit of flexibility there. So let's say in this situation, we're put in a spot where it's like, you know what, I have to be able to lurk the shallow middle of the field. I have to defend the run. Maybe it's a 4th down and 4. You're worried about, you know, quick throws, Texas routes, things like that. You don't want to worry about the number 3 receiver running to the sideline or running a deep crossing route. So we're trying to neutralize that corner or crosser meta that I was just mentioning. What we're going to do is we're going to set up our defense in a manner that is going to allow us to play basically 2 inside quarters. So I'm going to take both of these safeties, the play side safety and the weak side safety. And I'm going to say, you know what, we're matching. If that guy runs the corner, yeah, Derwin James is going to be a little outflanked, but Sean Taylor's going to be there. If Mike Evans crosses the field, it might beat Sean Taylor, but we're gonna have Derwin James ready to save us on the backside. And then in terms of the rest of this, what we're gonna do is we're going to, just kind of play some deep zones. Maybe you play halves over the top, kind of inverted, like an inverted cover 2. Maybe you go ahead and play your hard flats out here on this. You're basically just creating kind of a sellout defense where we're playing hard flats, we're keeping a lob, a lob lid over the top with our deep halves, but our 2 inside safeties are focusing on bracketing that particular number 3 receiver, which is Mike Evans. Now in this situation, we're put in a spot where if he runs a crosser, if he runs a corner, we don't have to worry about that whatsoever. And now we can focus on, getting our stop in the middle of the field, which a lot of times players are probably just going to end up trying to throw something goofy to the running back out of the backfield. So now you're in a spot here where you can kind of just be like, all right, that's me. Pocket collapses, we're matching the corner route, we're in good shape. But then if they do try to run, like their levels, something kind of like this, we're now in a spot as well where if we want to do that double bracket with this particular play call, again, you're going to be in a spot where we can go ahead now and still be kind of cognizant of underneath. I don't have to worry so much about this receiver. They snap the ball. It's like, all right, let me play here. Let me bite down here. Let me go back here. While the pocket collapses, they're going to be looking at you underneath. Now all of a sudden their eyes glance up to the middle. They see that you've got, this crosser bracketed. You're essentially able to neutralize this particular player very, very easily with this particular concept. So again, you're neutralizing number 3. Now this video is pretty long. I do want to say that if you made it this far, I really appreciate you guys rocking with me. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Also hit that notification bell and drop a comment below to help push this video out in the algorithm. If you guys want a little bit more, go check out my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg. But I have one more thing that I want to talk to you about. Obviously, not every formation in the game is just going to come out and snap the ball. A lot of players are going to utilize motion. Keep in mind that your numbering system matters with motion as well. When we do this motion, we now have a new number 3. So if you were to number the right side of the field, Evans is number 1, Pitts is number 2, the running back is number 3. So if you end up in a situation where you're playing this inside quarter trick, just make sure that you're very aware of the reality that from time to time, you're going to end up with a new number 3, and you're either going to need to check out of that or just be accepting of the fact that, the player is going to now play an inside quarter, okay? If that running back is the number 3 receiver, you're going to notice that he's going to play zone. If it's a tight end or a receiver that is the number 3, he's going to end up playing the match on that, as you see here. So in this situation, we actually ended up being okay because that motion made the running back number 3. If that motion, for instance, makes the tight end number 3, or creates some sort of numbering system where a player that is on the line of scrimmage, like for instance, all the way back at the beginning of the bunch portion of this video, you have to know that he's going to guard that, and that includes flat routes. So please be aware of that. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. We'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and goodbye.